Hello everyone, welcome once again to your science classes of grade 5th. Kids, in this portion of the video, we are going to discuss the question answers of our chapter 2 science course book, that is food and health. As in my previous video, we have already discussed all these book exercises, this fill in the blanks and this name the following I have explained to you. These tick the correct answers also we have discussed, as well as the true false also we have discussed, and there was a recapitulation of the chapter and the topics also. So in this video we are going to discuss the question answers one by one. Okay, and I have already uploaded the PDF of this chapter. PDF of this chapter has been uploaded so that you could read the chapters on your Snapwork. So please, I would request you that you do visit, you do watch the videos on YouTube, whatever lecture videos are given, and check the Snapwork posts also. And as I have already told you that now you will complete all your written work date-wise, chapter-wise in your previous class 4th science notebook. Okay, so I hope you must be maintaining the work in that way only. It should be neat and clean. Questions should also be written along with the name of the topic. Okay, so now let's see what is the first question of the chapter, that is food and health. As you can see, the format, how I write the question answers. First, you have to mention the date, whatever date you are doing the work. Then obviously you are doing in your science previous class notebook, so no need to write science 5th, or you are doing, in case the notebook is filled and you are doing in some kind of register or loose sheets, then do mention the subject and grade. Okay, then write chapter number, chapter 2, and the name of the chapter. Then write the heading, like suppose we are doing question answer, so mention over there that question answer. Suppose you are doing fill in the blanks, so mention over there that fill in the blanks. Suppose you are doing tick the correct answer, so mention over there. Okay. Okay, now let's see what is the first question. The very first question is, yes, what is a balanced diet? Many times I have told you, I have explained you that the diet, the meal which contains all the required nutrients for the proper functioning, normal functioning and health maintenance of our body, that is called the balanced diet. As you can see here in this picture also, this balanced diet diagram, it is very important. Many times I have told you that you have to draw this diagram in your notebook. Those who have drawn, well done. But those who have not drawn, they could draw after writing this answer. Along with this answer, they can draw this diagram. Okay, even those who have drawn, they can again make this diagram along with this answer, so that your answer could look perfect and nice, and it would also enhance your concept understanding. Okay, so a diet that contains all the nutrients in adequate amount. Adequate means perfect, proper, correct or right. Okay, this is the meaning of the term adequate. Adequate amounts required for the healthy functioning of our body is called a balanced diet. Yes, this is the only definition, that a diet that contains all the nutrients. All the nutrients means, what are the names of the nutrients? These are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals, and including water and roughage. So, a diet that contains all these nutrients in adequate amounts required for the healthy functioning. Now, why this diet is important? Why these nutrients are important? They are important for the healthy functioning of our body, so that our body could remain healthy, fit, and active and disease free. Okay, so that's why balanced diet is important. It is required by our body. And all you kids in this present scenario, and even in generally, you should take a balanced diet that will enhance your body growth and development in proper way. Okay, Let's see the next question. What are deficiency diseases? Name 3 deficiency diseases. So first you have to define, you have to write what are deficiency diseases, and then you have to write the name of any 3 deficiency diseases. But only writing the name of deficiency diseases is not enough. You also have to write about whatever you know about that deficiency disease. Like you have to write by which deficiency of by which particular vitamin that disease is caused, what are its symptoms, and what are the sources of those food items which we will take, then this disease will not occur. Okay, so let's see the answer. Diseases that occur due to lack of certain vitamins and minerals in our diet are called deficiency diseases and are mostly related to improper eating habits. Yes, that's we have studied about the deficiency diseases, that those diseases that occur due to the lack of means shortage of certain vitamins and minerals in our diet, they are known as deficiency diseases, and they are mostly related to improper eating habits, and they are non-communicable also. They cannot spread from one person to another person. Why? Because these are the deficiency, or these are the lack or shortage of any particular nutrient or vitamins or minerals in any particular person's body. So his or her body is only going to suffer due to this deficiency diseases. Okay, and they are mostly or generally they are related to improper eating habits. Improper eating habits means those who don't take a balanced diet, those who are just eating only one or two kinds of nutrients mostly, and not taking the wholesome food, all the nutrients in adequate amount. Okay, so these deficiency diseases occurs in those type of persons mostly. Now the what are deficiency diseases, that is written over here, that diseases that occur due to the lack of certain vitamins and minerals in our diet, they are called deficiency diseases and are mostly related to improper eating habits. Now 3 deficiency diseases are: first one, night blindness. Let me tell you one thing. This table I have told you, this particular table I have told you to draw in your notebook, and I hope you must have done. Now in this question it is asking to write any 3 deficiency diseases. So out of these 6 deficiency diseases, any 3 of your choice you can write. Okay, any 3 diseases of your choice you can write along with this complete information. Okay, so students can do this answer by their own choice also. Now I have written 3 deficiency diseases are: first one is night blindness, person not able to see in dim light and caused due to deficiency of vitamin A, should eat green leafy vegetables, carrot, papaya, mango, egg yolk to cure it. Yes, that's what I have explained to you, that you have to mention, you have to not only mention the name of that deficiency disease, but you have to write about its symptoms, write about due to the deficiency of which particular vitamin this disease is caused, and what a person should eat to avoid this disease or to cure this disease. Okay, so this was complete information about night blindness. That person who is suffering from night blindness, he is not able to see in the dim light. Okay, and it occurs due to the deficiency of vitamin A, and that person should eat green leafy vegetables, carrot, papaya, mango, egg yolk, etc. to cure it. Now 2 more deficiency disease we have to write. So let's see what are the other 2 deficiency diseases I have written. So second one I have written scurvy. Okay, now the person has bleeding gums and swelling of joints. So these are the symptoms of scurvy. If you are suffering from scurvy, if someone is suffering from scurvy, then that person must be having bleeding gums. In short, the teeth will not be very healthy. Gums will be swollen, and bleeding blood will also come out from his or her teeth or gums, and there must be swelling of the joints, as we will study in further chapters. What are joints? Joints are, let me tell you a little bit, that joint is a portion of our body where 2 bones meet. For example, knee area, elbow, these are some of the joints of our body. So due to the scurvy, there may be swelling in the joints, and it is caused due to the deficiency of vitamin C in our body. And to cure it, we should eat apple, orange, citrus fruits, tomato, gooseberries is, I think, amla, etc., to cure it. So it was the second deficiency disease. Now third one I have taken is rickets. Person has soft bones and bow legs. As you have seen over here, this is the diagram of rickets. As you can see, the legs, they are not straight, they are bow shaped, and this was scurvy. These are the bleeding gums. Okay, so that person has soft bones. Soft bones means, doesn't mean its bone is very soft to touch. No, soft bones means weak bones, not very strong bones. Okay, so that person has soft bones and bow legs. It is caused due to the deficiency of vitamin D, and should take milk, fish, and natural sunlight also help our body to make vitamin D as a cure. So this I have already told you. These are some of the sources like milk and fish, which a person should eat, so that his or her bones could become strong. And one more thing is that natural sunlight. If that person will stand in natural sunlight for 10 or 15 minutes or 20 minutes, that will help his body to make vitamin D inside the bones. Okay. So these were the three diseases, uh, deficiency diseases, which I have written: night blindness, scurvy, and rickets. So you could write any three deficiency diseases out of this table. Any three diseases you could write of your choice, along with their complete description. Description means by which deficiency of by which particular vitamin or mineral these diseases are caused, what will be the symptom of that particular disease, and what are the foods rich in that vitamin and mineral which should be taken by that particular person to cure it. Okay. Okay, this answer is done now. Let's move on to the third question. How are carbohydrates useful to our body? Write two sources of carbohydrates. Now you have to write that how the carbohydrates, they are useful to our body, and any two sources. I would suggest that you just learn in all the vitamins and minerals and nutrient sources, at least five. Okay, at least five sources, or at least four sources should be known to you of each nutrients, of each vitamins and minerals. So okay, coming to the answer 3. Carbohydrates give energy to our body. What is the role of carbohydrates in our body? Why it is useful for our body? It is useful because it gives energy to our body. Whatever work we are doing, like playing, studying, jumping, running, we need energy to do these activities. And from where the energy comes? From these nutrients. From this nutrient, that energy comes. So carbohydrates give energy to our body. People who do a lot of physical work, like laborers, farmers, and school going children, should take food rich in carbohydrates. Yes, physical work means those whose body muscles are involved in that work, like hands and muscles, and they are doing lots of physical work. For example, I have written, you must have seen laborers. They at the construction site, or at the um, uh, any other places where they do lots of physical work. They have to use their muscular energy. They have to use their hands, their shoulders for lifting things, their legs for walking fast. I'm just giving you an example. Any person who is doing lots of physical work. So that's why I have also written school going children. School going children, physical work means you also have to do lots of activities when you are in school, like studying, playing, writing, reading. So many things are there. So to complete all this task, all these physical activities, you people need lots of energy. Okay, so any person who is doing who is involved in the physical work, in body activities, carbohydrate nutrient is very essential for his or her energy requirement. Okay. So this much introduction, this much things is to be written about carbohydrates. Not only that, you will write carbohydrates give energy to our body and that's it. No. Now you are in grade 5th, so you have to learn, you have to adopt the way that how to write answer in a little elaborate way. Okay. So I think this portion of the answer is clear that carbohydrates give energy to our body, and people who do a lot of physical work like laborers, farmers, and school going children should take food rich in carbohydrates. Now, in the second part of the question, it is asking write two sources of carbohydrates. So, as you can see over here, two sources of carbohydrate, I have written four. Not, I have written five. Okay, so you will also write this much: wheat, rice, corn, potato, sugar, etc. So these are all the food items through which we can get carbohydrates, as you can see over here in this picture also. There is potato, there is corn, there is rice, there is bread, there is wheat, barley, sugar cubes. Okay, sources of carbohydrates. So you can also draw pictures over here of like a bowl of rice or of corn, potato, sugar cubes, wheat, etc. It will make your answer look beautiful. In science, as much diagram you will draw, that much your answer will look effective, and it will show that yes, your concepts, your understanding is very good in that particular topic. Okay, so answer 3 is complete now. How are carbohydrates useful and what are the sources of carbohydrates? Okay, let's move on to the next question. That is, what are nutrients? Write two sources of each nutrient. Okay, in this question, it is asking you to describe, to tell what are nutrients and any two sources of each nutrient. Okay, so we have already studied about the nutrients. So any two sources of nutrients you have to write along with the definition of what are nutrients. So answer is substances present in food that help our body to grow and stay healthy are called nutrients. Yes, those substances, those things, those chemical compounds which are present in food item, whatever food item we are eating, like bread, like chapati, like rice, potato, vegetables, etc., etc., whatever food items we are eating, all those food items, they are built up of these nutrients only. Different food items contains different types of nutrients in them. So nutrients can be defined as the substances which are present in food that help our body to grow and stay healthy. Yes, why we eat these nutrients? Why we eat these food? For different reason. I have already told you, food gives us energy, food makes us healthy, food keeps our body fit and active, it protects us from diseases. So for this particular purpose, to in short, we can say that these substances which are present in food that help our body to grow, proteins help to grow, the grow muscles and tissues, and stay healthy, they are known as nutrients. Now two nutrients are proteins. It helps in growth and in repairing damaged cells and tissues of our body. Sources are milk, cheese, pulses, beans, egg, meat, fish, etc. and vitamins and minerals. I think one thing I have missed in this part of the question, that was write two sources of each nutrient. Okay, so I have only taken two nutrients over here. One carbohydrate I have described over here. So you can take carbohydrate from here. This portion of the answer could come over here also. So carbohydrates, now proteins, vitamins and minerals, only fat was remaining. Okay, so you have to mention about each nutrients and its two sources. So carbohydrates, I have already told you that carbohydrates give energy to our body. and the sources are wheat, rice, corn, bread, potato, sugar. Now fats. Fats give more energy than carbohydrates. So you will write like this only, that the second nutrient is fats, and fats give more energy than carbohydrates. Now the sources are milk, oil, ghee, butter, cheese and dry fruits. They are the sources of fats. But one thing all also you have to know, that excessive intake of fatty foods, excessive intake of fatty foods, they can cause obesity. If we will take these fatty food items in excessive amount, more than the required amount, okay, then it may lead to obesity, okay, which is in called Hindi motapa, obese people, extra overweight people, okay. So this line is to be mentioned also, so that it should come to know that yes, you know what are the bad effects of taking excessive fats. So this nutrient also, which I am showing you here in this book, that also you will mention in answer number 3. Okay, carbohydrates, already I have told you that carbohydrates give energy to our body, and the sources are wheat, rice, potato, sugar, etc. Now fats give more energy than carbohydrates. It is also an energy giving nutrient. Fat is also an energy giving nutrient, but uh, the thing is that it provides double the amount of energy than the carbohydrates. That's why it is written that excessive intake of fatty foods, they can cause obesity, and the sources are milk, oil, ghee, butter, cheese and dry fruits. Okay, so I hope now you understand. Besides these two nutrients, you have to mention here about carbohydrates also, about fats also. Okay. Now proteins. It help in growth and in repairing damaged cells and tissues of our body. Yes, what is the function of the nutrient proteins? That proteins help in growth and in repairing growth of our body. Now you are in grade 5th, your height must be increasing little bit, your weight also little bit must be increasing. Okay, so what helps our body to grow, and what helps our body if there is certain damaged or certain injury, to repair that, to cure that? So it is the nutrient protein. Okay, so protein help in growth and in repairing damaged cells and tissues of our body, and the sources are milk, cheese, pulses, beans, egg, meat, fish, etc. Then coming over to the vitamins and minerals, they help in normal functioning of our body, as well as protecting our body against diseases. Yes, vitamins and minerals, normal functioning of our body. Normal functioning means, I have already told you that in our body there are so many organ systems working. Okay, inside an organism there are so many organ systems working, like nervous system, like digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, excretory system, etc. So all these systems, organ systems, could function properly, could do their task properly and well. So for that, these vitamins and minerals, nutrients, they are required to those organs of our body. So that is what it is written, that this vitamins and minerals, they help in normal functioning of our body, as well as protecting our body against diseases. As you must recall, while we were studying vitamins and minerals, it was called that they help in protecting. That's why vitamins and minerals, they are also known as protective nutrients. Okay, they are also known as protective nutrient. And proteins help in growth of our body, so it is also known as body building nutrients. Okay, so these are some secondary name of these nutrients which you also should know. Okay, so vitamins and minerals, they are known as protective nutrients, and they help in normal functioning of our body, as well as protecting our body against diseases. Now the sources are fruits, vegetables, milk, nuts, etc. So I hope question 4 is clear now. You have to explain what are nutrients, and you have to write two sources of each nutrient. Each nutrient means you have to mention carbohydrates also, that carbohydrate is an energy giving nutrient. with examples wheat, rice, potato, sugar, etc. Then you have to write about fats also, that fat is also an energy giving nutrient. It provides more energy to our body. Okay, and the sources are ghee, butter, oil, uh, dry fruits, etc. Then proteins, it is already written over here. Then vitamins and minerals. Yes, water and roughage I have not written over here because they come in the category of they are not actually nutrients, but they are required by our body. Okay, because it is written over here na, besides nutrients. Besides nutrients means nutrients are only these five: one, two, three, 4, 5. These 5 are basic nutrients. But besides these nutrients, this water and roughage is the plant fiber which is present in all the raw fruits and vegetables. They are also important for the healthy functioning of our body, so that our food get digested easily, for healthy digestive system, in short. Okay, so that I think in later on questions we will mention that. Write 5 ways in which you can maintain good hygiene. Now, question 5 is there, in which you have to write 5 ways in which you can maintain good hygiene. So, 5 ways are: we should wash our hands before and after meals and after going to the toilet with soap and water. Yes, this is the very basic thing which we are following. We all are following nowadays, that you should wash your hands properly before and after meals, before and after taking food, okay, and after going to the toilet also, properly with soap and water. Okay, next is, we should not let water to collect in ditches, vessels, coolers, pots, etc., or in or around our house, as stagnant water allows breeding of mosquitoes. Yes, this point also we have studied. To maintain a good hygiene, we should not allow water to collect in any type of containers, because if water will be collected, then it will become a breeding ground of mosquitoes. And you all know mosquitoes are carriers of so many harmful disease like malaria, dengue. As you can see now, this malaria, it can cause dengue, chikungunya, malaria, etc. And the third point is, we should wash fruits and vegetables well before cooking or eating them. Yes, this point is also important, because as I have already taught you in first chapter that spraying of pesticides or insecticides, it is done over the crops or the fruits and vegetables to protect them from insects, from pests. So before eating these fruits and vegetables or before cooking them, it need to be washed properly with water. Okay, so that is the third point. Fourth point is, food must be kept covered to prevent flies sitting on it. Fourth point is, we should keep food items covered, properly covered, so that the flies, cockroaches, they couldn't come in contact with that. They couldn't touch the food items, because if they will come in contact of the food items, they will make them dirty, they will make them infected, and if we will consume that food item, we can fall sick. Okay, so food must be kept covered. Food must be kept covered to prevent flies sitting on it. Then the fifth point is, we should not allow heaps of garbage to collect near our house. Dustbins should also be covered. Yes, because garbage is very harmful. Foul smell comes from that, and garbage may be the breeding ground of so many insects like flies, cockroaches, rats, and all that. And we should also use dustbins, covered dustbins, in our house or in and around our locality. So these were the 5 points of this answer. Now coming on to the sixth question, describe 2 ways in which communicable diseases spread. So answer is, communicable diseases may spread through air. When a sick person coughs, sneezes, or spits, germs are released into the air. When a healthy person breathes this air, germs enter his or her body and make him sick. So we should always cover our nose and mouth with a handkerchief while sneezing or coughing. Diseases like common cold, flu spread through air. So this was all about air, which we have studied also, that how the germs, they are spreading through air. Because when a sick person, if he coughs, if he sneezes, without properly covering his mouth or nose, then whatever germs they are present inside his body, they also come out along with his sneezing and coughing, and they spread in the surrounding air. And when a healthy person breathes that infected air, he or she also take that germs inside his or her body, and that germs may make him or her sick also. Okay, so that's what it is written over here. So we should always cover our nose and mouth with a handkerchief while sneezing or coughing. That's the thing we teach you at school also, okay, in your class also, that you should bring hanky, you should use it, you should properly cover your mouth and nose while sneezing or coughing. Okay, and some of the diseases like common cold, flu, they can spread through air. Now, through direct contact. When a healthy person comes in contact with a sick person or his handkerchief, towel, clothes, etc., he or she can get infected by the germs. Diseases like measles, chickenpox, and ringworm spread through direct contact. So, second medium which I have written is through direct contact. That also I have already explained you. If the personal belongings of any sick person, personal belonging means towel, his comb, his handkerchief, his clothes, if any healthy person is going to touch that, going to use that by mistake or deliberately, then the chances are very much that that healthy person may also get infected by using those personal belongings of a sick person, of an infected person. So that is called the direct contact. Or if directly we are talking to that person, or we are coming in contact with that person's diseased person, that may also increases the risk or chances of increasing the infection or passing on the infection from that diseased person to the healthy person. Okay, so disease like you can see the examples: measles, chickenpox, and ringworm spread through direct contact. So again, with this answer, kids, I would like to tell you that describe two ways in which communicable diseases spread. So we have studied about the four ways here how communicable diseases spread: through air, water, food, insects, and through direct contact. Through air, I have written. Through direct contact, I have mentioned the two ways. But if you would like to mention through infected food and water, and through insects, you could do. That's also your choice. You can choose any of the two methods to means out of these four of spreading of communicable diseases, but the thing is that you have to describe it also. Suppose you are using through, you are writing through infected food and water, then you have to mention these sentences also, that yes, if food and water, they may get infected with germs if they are not stored or handled properly. Flies and cockroaches, they can contaminate means they can make them infected or dirty. Are foods with germs, and some of the examples of diseases which spread through infected food and water like cholera, typhoid, jaundice, polio, they can spread through infected food and water. So in this answer you can apply your choice. So I am holding this portion of the video for a few more seconds so that you could write. Okay, either you can write in my way, that as I have written through air or through direct contact, or you can choose to write through infected food and water or through insects. Okay, so any of the two ways you can write. And kids, one more thing, that whatever you write, but the concept and the knowledge of all the things should be clear in your mind, because questions can come like this also, that write a short note, or in particular form also, just write how the communicable diseases spread through infected food and water, or write how the communicable diseases spread through insects, write a short note over it. So whatever you are writing, that's okay, that knowledge is there, but the other points, other things also should be in your mind. Okay, okay, this was all question answers of this chapter which I have discussed. Certain things I have written. Students can also write by their own choice, as there are two more means of spread of communicable disease. That was for this answer that I have right now explained to you, that I have written through air and through direct contact, but you could write through infected food and water and through insects point also. Okay, and in question number 4 also, no, this is not to be done. only this much, because in question number 4 I have told you what are the nutrients. Write 2 sources of each nutrient. Each nutrient means you have to mention carbohydrates also, and you have to mention fats also, okay, for this answer, because it is asking each nutrients. So 2 nutrients I have written, carbohydrates also I have told you, and fats also I have explained you. So I think now you can write down this answer by yourself also. Okay, so that was all for today's video, this part of the video. Now we have covered 2 chapters in our science course book, chapter 1 about growing plants and chapter 2 about food and health. Okay, so complete all your written work properly, whatever keywords, whatever question answers and book exercises I have discussed with you through these videos, please complete it. Complete the same in your notebooks, topic wise, and in a neat and clean handwriting. Complete all the diagram works also. Soon we will start a new fresh chapter, okay, in the next videos. And I will upload these book exercises and this question page also as a PDF on Snapwork very soon. Till then, bye. Take care and thank you for the class.